we are. Welcome everybody in the chat. We are your hosts, Tanith and Horus. Welcome,
Hello.
Horus. Welcome, Horus.
What's up? How's it going?
It's going. Welcome, welcome co-producer and executive vice script Brazen. What's up, Belgarth friends in the chat? We're almost up to 50 people. This is absolutely wild. That's wild.
Crazy.
Crazy. 50 people already. Episode 1.
Hell
Here
yeah.
we go. And that's just on Twitch. We have no idea how many people are watching on Facebook, YouTube. I put it on TikTok. We're everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, let's talk about the bench. What is the bench?
I think it's a podcast.
It is. Ooh, I didn't. All that time to prepare, I didn't do my homework. Didn't pull
Oh,
up my
nice.
Google Doc.
I thought you were throwing to me. I was like, oh, okay. I'll start talking.
Let's do our homework. Here's our agenda for today. This is our agenda for the show. I did this homework. What is the bench? Who is the bench? How did the bench come about? Who are Tanith and Horus? Any questions for the listeners? What are we doing next week? Sounds like a... hi, Noah. Sounds like a pretty good agenda to me, I would think. Why is it the bench? Well, that's a good question, Mr. Matumbo. Let's talk about what the bench is. The bench is a Twitch-based stream show about Boffer. Here, let me move that over here so I'm looking at the camera. The bench is a Twitch-based stream show about Boffer sports fighting, with the organization of Belgarth serving as, but not limited to, the context of the discussion. The bench will air every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. The bench has two main hosts. I am Charlie, otherwise known as Warlord Sir Tanny, and I will serve as the host and showrunner. And you are?
What? Did you say your real name first?
I did. Should I have not said that?
Okay. I'm Brandon, otherwise known as Sir Horus.
Hell yeah. Who will serve as the co-host. We also have co-producer and executive vice grip Brazen, who is going to help us out. And then we also have the bench itself. The premise of the bench is that we have a deep bench of co-hosts who will reoccur as guests in the series to offer in-depth expertise and knowledge to the topics at hand. As of right now... Ooh, wait a second. Here, let's go. Where's the agenda? We're still on the agenda, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
We should be doing this. I'm new at this. I'm fairly new. I'm trying this out. Okay.
You're doing great.
I'm doing great. I'm going to tell myself that. As of right now, okay, Brazen wants to know why she's the vice grip. I don't know. That just sounds like vaguely perverted. And I've never seen Tanith.
I've heard of the title of Fist, but I've never heard
Fist?
somebody's title be Grip.
Yeah, like vice grip from like a grip is like from a TV show or something.
I mean, it's like kind of the same as Fist.
The shower
works.
pooper? Who's the shower pooper?
The shower pooper?
Yeah.
I don't know. There used to be a shower pooper at the dorm across from the one that I stayed in when my first 2 years at the U of I, and nobody ever figured out who it was.
Did they make waffle surprise in the drain? Is that what they were going for?
I have no idea. I just heard that they would poop in the they would like go to different floors and poop in the showers, and nobody ever caught them.
Wow. All right, back to the topic at hand.
So there you go.
There you go. We're already derailed. I fucking love it. The bench as of 8/1/24 is Warlord Karai, Doc Cord T Goblins, Sir P1, Sir Abu, Warlord Sir Bell, Zur Technopop, Sir Roland the Monarch, Dame Paladin. You might have to help me with this. Kaled? Help me. Kaled? Dame Paladin Kaled the Bold, Blade Master Fox, Warlord Sir Little Spicy, Mikut Coat, San, Squire Elias, and Miss D. That's the bench. We've got a ton of talent on the bench. Did I do it right? I pronounced it correctly. I can't do it again.
Oh, is that correct?
That was
I would have
correct.
said that wrong.
That is the bench. So then the next question is, what are we going to do as the bench? The bench is pretty stacked. And the bench is going to get more stacked because I've already got some people that are like, hey, I want to be on the bench. And they'd be a good fit for it. So we're going to get some more warlords. Hopefully we'll get some more blade masters in here. We're going to stack the bench pretty good.
Sweet.
And we've got a lemur on the bench. That is 100% true. The format of the bench will be 5 different types of episodes plus whatever additional weird bullshit we come up with. The first thing, like we're doing today, is going to be a discussion. Discussions on the bench are going to be conversations involving 2 hosts, such as ourselves, and 2 co-hosts called up from the bench to discuss a particular topic. The second format of the bench is going to be commentary. Commentary is a play-by-play of live stream fighter practice, with the hosts or co-hosts acting as sports commentators and discussing the fighting in real time. Might be some technical challenges, but we're going to figure that out. The third format of the bench is reporting. On-location reporting from a national event. That's going to be pretty fun. We're going to... Keep is coming up in a few weeks. Are you going to any events in the next few weeks before Keep?
No, I probably won't be at Keep either. I'll be at KGC this weekend.
Okay.
And I'll be at Oktoberfest. I guess I'll be at Numenor Opener, but that's in town. I don't know if that really counts.
That's fair. And that's like a one-day thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe at Keep we'll try premiering the this reporting thing. So like you can be in the studio and I'll be going around like being like, "Hi, are you having a good time at Keep?" And you can be like, "Hey, I know that guy," and whatever.
Sure.
And then is the bench coming to Brazen? You're so good. Is the bench coming to EQ? Unfortunately, EQ and Keep are on the same weekends, and as much I would love to go to EQ, Keep is just so much closer. So unfortunately, I'll be doing my live report from Keep. Unfortunately for Belgarth. Thank you. Man, Brazen, you're so good. Thank you. Thank you for all the subs. All right. So that's reporting on location reporting from a national event. Then the next format of discussion is called a review. Traditional fighting video reviews conducted by 2 hosts and the 2 co-hosts. And then the final type of... Oh my god, that's distracting, but it's great. The final type... Thank you for following, Bacon. The final type of format will be clearing the bench, which would be a large... Thank you for following... Thank you for following, Colin. Clearing the bench, having a large, moderated roundtable discussion about an important topic with as many co-hosts as possible. Thank you for following. God, I can't talk today. Thank you for following Sir Smiley X. What do you think? Seems like a pretty cool show to me.
I think so.
Thank you for following Frosty the Swordsman. Do I need to say that every time? I don't know. That's what they do on some of this.
People do, yeah.
Yeah, I should say it every time.
I think we should always thank the peeps.
I feel like this gamer dude, I'm going to kick. How do I kick him? Because he's just posting links. We're gonna...
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know. I should figure that out. Probably a spammer. I need to... Okay, so notes for next show. We're going to give Brazen privileges. And Brazen should be able to kick people for us. I can click on their name and do a ban timeout. Okay,
you should
clicked on
give
their
them
name.
to me, too.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, we're going to ban Gamer Dude. Hell yeah.
Oh,
we
good
banned
job.
Gamer Dude. We did it.
That was fast.
It did it. Oh, I thought that said Rising Winds Mercury. I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen that dude in 20 years.
Holy shit, thanks, Solaris.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Serious sword athletes only.
Yeah. Okay, so, important note, everybody that says something in the Twitch chat is registered to win a free Knight's Chain from Brazen.
Okay.
So Brazen said that she will be giving out 1 Knight's Chain per episode. So did I just banned my son? Well,
Got him.
not a night chain, just a chain. I just banned my
It's
son.
so good.
Oh my god. Oops. How do I unban somebody? We'll figure that out later.
I don't know. I know you can do it.
We got to figure out a way to do it.
I'll have to ask my little
Oopsies.
brother.
Damn. Damn. Ooh. I wonder if my phone's going to start ringing any second now. Okay, let's go to the agenda before my ex-wife calls me. Says, "What the hell are you doing?" I did a great job. How do I unban somebody? This is really important. He's going to be so mad.
Unban at user.
What do I do? Unban at gamer dude.
That's so good.
That's hilarious. Okay, he's back. Henry is unbanned. Hell yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Now I want to go click on his links and see what he was spamming us with.
Welcome to the chat, Lady Rabbit. All right, so how did the bench come about? How did the bench come about? So, I was running a stream called Farts and Friends, which was like an Arkham horror card game stream, and it was super fun. But the first thing I noticed was that like there was there was like a ton of Belgarth people, Belgarum.
Belgrim.
So
Yep.
I'm new to this.
It's okay.
There was a ton of Belgrim that were like following the stream, and you know, Miranda, who was on the stream, had to bow out because she had a new job, and the question was, what do I do now? And as you know, but they might not know, I play Helldivers with you and Elias like every week, and I was talking with Brazen, and we were brainstorming, and Brazen was basically like, just do a Belgarth stream, and I was like, well, that just seems so simple, right? That seems so easy. And she was just like, just make it about Belgarth, and we'll make a ton of dick jokes in the comments, and it'll be like the same thing, just Belgarth themed. And I'm like, okay, that sounds good. And I thought about, like, you know, I know that you stream shit, and I was like, you know, and like when you and I met, we were like instant friends. Like, we just hit it off instantly. And I was like, we got a pretty good rapport. So like, yeah, let's do a Belgarth stream. And so I asked you and Elias, but Elias has stuff that they do on Thursdays. So it became me and you. And I remember thinking like, okay, I feel like we need a third person. And so I put a little tester out there, and I thought, would anybody be interested in, you know, maybe somebody would be interested in hosting with us. And we got 20 something responses. Like, we got a ton of people with like a lot of talent. And I was thinking to myself, like, cause like Karai and Spicy both chimed in, and I'm like, man, they'd be great for this. And I was like, but then this person chimed in. I was like, they're great for this. And I'm like, what if we just did this rotating cast list of all these people that are interested? And the rest is history. And here we are. We have the bench. Right?
We do indeed.
Makes sense to me. Let's take a quick break to pull up the chat so the people at home can get in on this. Now's your chance, folks. Say some dumb shit and we'll respond to it, I think. Ask questions. Let's see. It's great. Dumb shit.
Something to
There you
show
go.
everybody at some point. I need to have it ready so I'm not searching through my house.
You
for
did it right.
But it's relatable.
What do you got? You got shit to show us later?
Yeah, next stream I'll show you the best dick joke that I bet maybe like 5 people have ever noticed.
That works. Okay, so first, who would win between the two of us in a fist fight?
You would.
You
Not
think
even
so?
close.
You think so?
Yeah, if you have to fight me in a real fight, I'm like the easiest person you'll ever fight. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I'm a total weenie. Like,
Oh, then you'd lose. I got the crazy.
yeah.
I just love to fight, but I don't know how to fight with my fists.
I know how to fight with my fists, but I've seen
Yeah.
you like charge, like knock people over. You're terrifying. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just like battle. I should like do some martial arts or something. Maybe I'd be good at it.
So we're unsure. We're unsure who would win. Um,
No, I'm not.
let's go. Is one of us the shower pooper? I've never shower pooped at an event.
No.
I
Why?
absolutely have
That's
shower
like
pooped at home.
if I'm gonna do something that's like socially weird or like causing a wave, it is absolutely not taking a poop in a shower. That's no, that's so dumb. Also, like I want people to know it was me. The shower pooper is about being secret. It's
Oh
about
yeah,
getting away with it as long as you can.
yeah. We can't.
Like
We can't
I can't get
princess.
famous for shower pooping, then they just don't let me in the showers.
The I've absolutely shower pooped on accident multiple times, several times. I do have, an intestinal colon disease, so it happens. Um,
I get it. I get it.
so to answer an actual legitimate question, we Horace and I will be on every time, barring situations. That's we're the main hosts, the serious hosts, and then we're gonna rotate out the bench members. That's how we're doing this. Let's see. One more question. Uh, that doesn't count as a question. Stream quiet. Whatever you want to ask. This is your chance. First question we're answering. That one didn't count. Pillow fight. No. I did miss a
Just
ton. Let's see.
this
Maybe we'll.
person just spreading rumors.
That sounds good to me. Let's see. Let's see. What other questions are we asking here? I did miss a ton. Okay. One sec. We got a fighting question incoming.
Oh, sweet.
If we Henry, stop promoting your show. Henry's promoting. My son is promoting his own show called The Bench.
Sick.
What's up,
Wait,
Pickles?
what? Why is it also called the bench?
Because he's unhinged.
I love
What
it.
content are we hoping to get out of the show? Why do the bench? Let's see. Number one reason is one thing. One thing that I noticed in terms of Amp Guard specifically is that fighting culture is kind of it is alive and well in Belgarth, and that's why I consider myself Belgrim now. But I think that I still want to promote foam fighting. I still want to make foam fighting a thing. I still want to have conversations about it. And with Better Red Than Dead having some scheduling issues and whatnot, I think that there's room for a stream. There's absolutely room for a stream to keep to help things out with foam fighting. So that's why I want to do it. Oh, there's Prophecy's question. All right, this is the last one. I find myself often telling new fighters that they should try doing less. I feel like the ratio of their mistakes is very high. I also feel like I don't want to tell people to be less aggressive. Thoughts? Ideas on how I can communicate this better. I see so many people getting impatient or reaching when things are going their way quickly. What's a good way to talk about this and coach it aside from telling people a blanket statement like do less? Horace, you want to take that one?
Oh man, new fighters. I don't even how. I mean, so my advice is very different depending on how new they are. I think if they are brand new, that you shouldn't say anything to them at all. If they're asking you questions, you can give advice about what they're asking about. You can tell them basic stuff, especially if you see them struggle with it. But if they're just like, there's so much to learn, you don't know at what pace they're going to learn it or what the best way to learn it is. So if you see an opportunity to teach them something, teach them that, but just really don't worry about their development when they're brand new. Like you probably, unless you're teaching a class and they want to learn the class, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make a drink, and it's just not going to help. After a year, then I like to start if they're sticking around, they seem interested, they're more receptive to you. Um, then I start teaching people the basics, even if they're not necessarily asking for it, if they're interested. Um, I still wouldn't like really stop people from going ham and reaching or anything like that. You know, you can, but unless they want to know why they're losing, it's still not going to help. And really, you never want to de-aggression someone because I can teach anyone how to throw the shots. I can teach anyone all of the rules, but I cannot teach you how to willingly put yourself in danger. I I can't make you aggressive. That's something that you have to do for yourself, and you have to, I can like we can talk about mindset, but it is very, very difficult to teach people to try to hurt other people. Uh, People don't really want to do it. I can show you all the things in the world. If you ever teach a brand new fighter how to swing a sword, they will absolutely whack something that is not moving. They'll whack a shield really hard. And they will struggle to hit you still. So never want to like if that's the thing that they don't struggle with, don't like that's the main thing that they need. Let them move into everything else. If they're getting, upset about their progress, like you can talk to them about stuff like that, but you I just I wouldn't really worry about how they're doing when they're that new. After a year, after 2 years, things get different. Then you can really start like kind of almost siloing them into the basics and teaching them what they need to know.
So what Prophecy's saying is that they're working with fighters that are over a year, under 5, and they are
Okay.
asking for feedback. Um,
Okay.
I think if you want somebody to do less, like spam less,
Hmm.
um, and they're wanting your advice, I think like saying like, hey, all right, in this ditch, you can't swing your sword until you block at least one shot. Or maybe giving them some kind of mission where they have to demonstrate the behavior you want to see out of them before they are allowed to engage, um, potentially. If you're asking them to do less, if you're asking them like,
Hmm.
oh, we'll do one more because this one looks important.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a longtime player trying to start improving extremely basic fighting skills if their local fighting community tends to be less than welcoming? Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
that's kind of hard. I mean, like, i- the hardest thing is that if your fighting community doesn't want to fight you, what are you
That's
doing?
rough. Yeah.
Like, I don't know that, you can practice, you can fight people, just try to be nice, but I,
Travel.
yeah, travel is probably your best option.
Travel to
I
where you
mean,
know it's good. Yeah.
yeah. Also, just kind of like why are they like less than welcoming? Do
Yeah.
you just have to like get your reps in and get beat up a little bit and before they kind of warm up to you, or they actually don't like you?
Yeah.
I just don't know that you're gonna enjoy fighting or want to continue fighting if you're playing with a bunch of people who don't want you to play.
Yeah.
It's that's kind of rough.
Yeah. That's pretty rough. And if this is an internal problem, like you're saying, like, is this you? And they don't like you.
Hmm.
That's going to be hard. And I think trying to reverse that trend, um, might be the right call. If it's like, if they're casual fighters and they don't like serious fighters showing up, like Frosty's saying, like, again, that's going to be
Hmm.
really hard. I would say, start finding people that you do fight well with. Like
Hmm.
brand new people. It could be somebody that's a couple months in, and you could whoop their ass every single time, but they like fighting you and they want to get better and learn. Drill with that person, make that person better, do
Yeah.
interval training with that person, and then as they get better, you will get better. You know,
Yeah.
and then now,
All you really need
yeah,
is that one person who wants to fight you,
yeah,
and you can just fight them. And as for like what to work on, I mean, take your pick. What do you think you want to work on. It's hard to tell without knowing your individual situation, like what exactly you should be working on.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, really, like if you're showing up to a park like Frosty's saying, and they're all super casual and they just don't want you to fight serious, like in that case, I would just dumb down what you're doing. Like, you know, you want to be serious and fight them? Well, your sword and board wrecks all of them. Don't fight sword and board. Just fight single all
Yeah.
the time. And if you don't want to do that, then if you can't beat up like a bunch of not serious people single, like come on, like just go do it. It's a fun all of its own. So
Hell
you
yeah.
gotta work with what you got. I've been very lucky to fight in places where there's always a bunch of badasses that wanna kick butt. So uh yeah, travel is the only other thing.
Yeah.
And especially even if you are in a place where you have some people that want to fight you, you if they're not super good, it's going to be hard to improve. You will still constantly improve
Hmm.
as you work on things, and but it's hard to push yourself to the level where you are improving without improving at the specific thing that you're concentrating on without people who just like push you.
Hmm.
So travel is the best thing for that.
Yeah. And to your point about travel, like, so you can go out on a field of newbies, take a single sword, and just focus on blocking their shots, and you will get really good at hand blocking their
Hmm.
shots. That being said, I can always tell if somebody is a good fighter from a park with a bunch of new fighters because there are feints that will just absolutely work on them every time because they are not used to reading those feints. They're not used to like having those routines that they got to go through, if that makes sense. Um, so you can travel is always the answer, which unfortunately is like, some
Yeah.
people don't have the economy to travel and that kind of stuff, but travel is a good answer for getting better. Travel and grind.
Yeah. It is always, and even if you're fighting with people who aren't super good, you can overanalyze the shit out of it
Hmm.
and like sit there and try to get them to do exactly what you want them to do and work on, pick a thing, even if it's like super silly or super difficult to do because you really want to kill them with only one shot that they know you're going to throw.
Hmm.
Like, that's really hard, but you'll get better for trying to do it.
And Karai says, until your high cross transcended time, you could practice it more. And I'm just picturing like being on an Amtgard field in like 2001, and all of a sudden just this sword appears out of nowhere and just high crosses you like right in the shoulder, and you're like, "What the fuck is that? What?"
Oh man. Wait. Did you say 2001? How? Okay, we should do the next session because
We
I
should.
want to know how long you've been fighting for because I actually don't know that.
Who are Tanith and Horus? Uh, since well, I had been talking a lot, so I was gonna let you go first. But if you want me to go
No, I'll go
first, go
first.
first. Let's hear it. Who are
I
Tanith and Horus?
um okay. So my name's Horace. I chose my name the first day that I came to Belgrade because I was reading the Horus Heresy series, which had just started and is only now just ending. So that series has been going for 15 years, and that is how long I've been fighting. August of this year, this will be 17 years. And I went to college at the University of Illinois in Champaign, Illinois, and I now live here still. Although I did move away for a little while back home, Chicagoland. And when I went to college and was a young freshman, they told me, hey, you should sign up for a club while you're in college. You should like do something besides just going to class. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to quad day, which you go to quad day and everybody's got their clubs and, frats and whatever and sign up. And I was like, I'm going to sign up for a couple clubs and I'll see which one I stick with. So I signed up for like a kendo club that sounded kind of cool, and I saw some other stuff. And then I saw two fighters. I can't remember if one was Orso or who the other one was. They were both Urukai. I don't know if you're familiar with them. The other one was Meat, and I don't think he fights anymore. He's a great guy. And they were just obliterating each other with like full Urukai armor, swords and shields, just like kicking each other, like punching each other, like. And I saw them fighting, and all I could like think of was like the Lord of the Rings like movies, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, that's the club for me. I went to practice. I didn't miss a practice for years, like unless I had to. So
Hell yeah.
I never stopped.
Hell yeah.
That's how I started sword fighting.
That's fantastic. What's so then um what units have you been in throughout the years?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you the quick lowdown of Horus history. So when I first started, I joined the Urukai, because the
Really?
people that I first started learning from, and my first like Belgarth friend was Slagar, and he doesn't fight much anymore. He's got kids and a big boy job, um, and so we would just like beat the crap out of each other at outside PARs, which is a dorm here, um, and so I joined the Urukai because he was in the Urukai, and then the other guy that I was learning from, who became a good friend of mine, was Orso. And I think my like second practice, like he taught me to move my leg and not just stand there and get hit by hitting me with his sword over and over again until I moved my leg. And that was my first like black and blue bruise from Belgarth. But like I just love that stuff. Like I'm probably maybe not the only person, but one of the people who just enjoys getting hit in Belgarth. I'm just like a weird masochist like that. And so I it's just super fun. So I joined the Uruk-hai, got to fight in the Iron Crown, which is really fun, like combination of units. In the last couple times they did that, and then the next year my sword fighting, the Uruk-hai was like gone. They just went from like 50 people to evaporating overnight. Um, so I was after that, I was like, I'm not gonna join a unit. And then my friend Angel, who I had started hanging out with at that time, was like, hey, let's make a unit called the Dunedain, which will be like a Numenor specific unit. And they ended up getting bigger than that, going out west and all over the place. But I was one of the first members of the Dunedain. I think it was Angel, me, and maybe it was Bogan. I don't remember who the third one is actually. And then I did that for like my second year. And then in the summer, I think in the summer of my second year, maybe it was third. I don't know. It's hazy now. I had just joined the Dunedain, and then my friend Slagar had joined Rogue Company, the Belagarth
Mhm.
unit portion of it, because Peter was, you know, creating the unit and like collecting all the Dragon Balls, basically. There's probably a better word for that, but that's the one that came to me.
That's the
And
official unit designation for each member is a Dragon Ball.
yeah, that's actually yeah. Anyway, um, so at Armageddon that year, they were like, "Hey, you want to join Rogue Company?" And I was like, hey Angel, I think I'm gonna join this like unit of these like super dudes because I just want to get really good at sword fighting. And yeah, I did that. The rest is sort of history. I joined Rogue Company. I fought with them for a while. Um, when Rogue Company split off to form the Emir, I actually didn't join right away. I think I'm
Oh.
the only person that ever quit the Emir. But I was working in up north, and I didn't know how much Belgarth I was going to be able to do, which is hilarious looking back. But I was working like a stupid amount of hours every week. I drove an hour to work. I drove an hour back. Every time it snowed, it was like a 2 hour back and forth. I barely slept. It was terrible. And so while I was going through these kind of like terrible jobs up there, I quit Road Company and was like, I don't think I can like live up to the kind of ideals anymore. I don't even know how much I'll be out. And that was that. And then I came back for, man, Armageddon is a big event for me. I'm realizing in my history, but I came to another Armageddon with and I had like squired. I quit my squireship to Zach Nafine and Numenor,
Dang.
and I came back for an Armageddon after I'd gone to only like Oktoberfest, Wolfpack opener, and then I was coming back for another Armageddon. And I camped, and I had been unemployed for like a little bit. I was in between jobs, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, this is so fun. Like, that all my friends are in this. Like, what have I been doing in my life? So at that event, I squired to Sir Frosty. I think he actually got knighted at that event too. And
Nice.
that was the event that Joe knocked his brother, Hurin, knocked him out. And Frosty killed him while he was passing out. Like during that fight, it was like an endurance trial, and he got like punched in the mouth. And like
Jesus.
as he was passing out, he hit his brother and
Oh,
killed him.
different
Like I was
Frosty.
like, I would not have thought to do that when I was getting knocked out. But yeah, so obviously after seeing somebody do that when they offer you squireship, you have to say yes. Um, and so I did that. I rejoined the Emir, or joined the Emir for the first time. And yeah, I did that for a long time. I eventually moved back to Champaign after a couple years back in the suburbs. It's way cheaper here.
Mhm.
It's not so much anymore, but times change. Um, and in 2017, I did my Knights trial and I got knighted. It was very exciting. I think I had like a 6 or 7 year long squireship. I honestly think they should all be that long.
Hot take.
No offense to
Hot
people
take.
that don't have them be that long. I just think it's I think it really served me very well.
6 or 7 years. I'm
Um,
on board with that. I think that feels about right.
yeah. I think that it being a long journey doesn't mean that it's for anybody that takes forever to squire. I don't think it being a long journey is a bad thing. Um, so yeah, I got knighted, and then I've just been kind of being a hermit knight. I planned to do all sorts of stuff, and after I got knighted, I had to turn and do real life stuff. COVID kind of sucked it out of me. I gained a ton of weight, and then after COVID, I started coming back out more. Got divorced. I'm actually still not divorced. Still working on that.
Hell yeah.
Um, but I lost a ton of weight, and now I'm back out fighting all the time. So
Hell yeah.
hopefully, I'll see more of y'all in the future.
I think we should take it to chat and see if anybody from chat has any questions for Sir Horus about his history.
Sure.
Can't wait to learn wax from two middle-aged divorcees. Wild.
Fantastic.
Love it.
I'm really glad we didn't go with that name.
Shit, we are two middle-aged divorcees, aren't
Oh,
we? Jesus.
that's so good.
What do you think you gained the most from for the long squirehood?
Oh man, if I tell you, then it's kind of lost. But I'll I'll break the secret because it doesn't matter. You have to experience it for yourself. Um, Everybody who squires wants to learn how to be a knight, and in Belagarth, there are no rules. I can right now knight anyone. I'm a knight. I can just tell you, you're my squire. Put on the tabard, whatever. I can knight you. Nobody can say that you're not a knight. I mean, they can, but you're just a knight, right? Now, I don't believe that that's what you should do. But when you squire, you don't know what it means to be a knight. And, you know, some people do their 2 years, and usually people that do that are pretty like organized, and like somebody's like having them check all the things off the list, and they're doing a good job of teaching them what it's supposed to mean to be a knight. Now, my knight was not near me, um, even though he was a very good teacher. Um, but when you spend a long time and you go to learn from people how to do everything, how to do weapons check, how to do a feast an event, how to run an event, how to do all these things, and you spend more and more time serving, you eventually will show up to a thing and you'll show up to a weapons check and you're supposed to be the person, maybe not in charge, usually not in charge because you're still squire or whatever. And you see people and they don't know what the hell they're doing. And that's when you realize that This is it. There's not always an adult in the room, and you have to be the
You
adult in the room.
are the adult in the
And
room.
when this happened to me, everybody meant well, but I clearly, through the way that everybody was talking, realized that I was the most experienced person there. And because because of that, I one realized that it doesn't necessarily matter what your title is or what you're doing. Like people can be effective no matter what their title is or what their rank is or whatever. And your duty is to help out and do the things that you can when you have the ability. And so the long squireship helped with that. And the long squireship also made it so that I was constantly going to events and trying to help out and meeting new people and learning their stories and learning all sorts of new things and different ways to do things and fighting as many people as I could and making a name for myself. And so doing that, when it came time for me to get knighted, I am of the opinion that when your knight asks you if you're ready to get knighted, if you say no, then you're not ready.
Hmm.
And as soon as you are sure, then it's time. You should maybe even get to the point where you're like, I'm fucking ready. Like, it's time to go.
Hmm.
Like, I can do this. So that's why I think a long squireship's good. I think it served me really well because I had a lot of good experiences and I spent more time doing the work than checking things off a list, which I don't think it's bad to check things off a list, but I do think it's important to have those experiences and to get to know people and to make a name for yourself, because when you get knighted, your knighthood means nothing unless everybody else
Hmm.
believes that you should be a knight. And so when you get knighted, everybody should be like, yeah, that person should be knighted. People should be asking why you're not a knight yet by the
Makes
time that
sense.
it happens.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Next question is: do you currently have any squires?
I do. I have two. I have Elias, who, pending completing his trial at Oktoberfest, will be knighted. And I just squired, man, I'm going to say his name wrong. Balyeg? I feel dumb not being able to say his name, but um, his real name's Luke, and Luke was a fighter here in Numnor for 4 years while he was doing his bachelor's, and now he's got his bachelor's. He's back in California, and he was talking to me about squireship and stuff, and I was like, Luke, do you want to be a squire? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. You're my squire now. So I haven't sent him the stuff yet. I've just had a lot going on in my life and not been able to quite get there, but it's coming. So
Let's go with the last question here. Do you think the long squireship helped more with skill development or personal development?
hold on. Where is that? Can I read that again?
Yeah, it's way up there. Way up there. Do you
Yeah.
think the long squireship helped more with skill development? Here, let me reply to it real
Or
quick. Yeah.
personal development. I understand now. Um, is there a difference?
I don't know. Is there a difference?
Yeah, that is my question for you.
That's my
Um,
question to you. Is there a difference?
yeah, I don't think that there's a difference.
Okay.
Um, it's both things are mutually entwined to each other. Your personal development and your skill development are linked. You will only be able to learn the skills as good as you can be, express yourself and be yourself and become more. So if you aren't personally developing, it'll be very difficult for you to develop skills past certain points. If you aren't personally developing, it'll be very difficult for you to overcome obstacles, roadblocks, defeats. They're really both the same. Um, I don't think either way that it's bad to have a shorter, long squireship. I really like long ones because um, it makes the reward sweeter when you get it,
Makes
and
sense.
I think it'll feel like it means more if it takes you 6 years than 2 years.
We're gonna take a unrelated question here because I think it's a pretty good question. Hey Tanith and Horus, Topaz here. I'm in the
Hmm.
process of pulling together a realm in my area. My group is pretty much entirely newbies, including myself. During our meets and practices, I've been very focused on the skill aspect of the game, but haven't focused much on the fun of it. What activities would you recommend for groups of less than 10? What about learning resources would you recommend for us to learn together? So maybe let's unpack that question
Hmm.
one at a time. What activities would you recommend for groups of less than 10? I'll field
You,
this one first. I think.
you go first.
So for less than 10, the magic number I feel like as far as group fighting is 6. If you have 6 people, 3 on a side, you can do a volleyball rotate, and you can get some good individual fights in. If you have less than 6 people, I recommend doing like a winners losers kind of situation whenever
Hmm.
you're trying to, you know, do some fighting, do some skill building, stuff like that. If you're newbies, to touch on what Horace said earlier, just if you're less than a year or two in, just have fun. You know what? Just go out there, have fun. All of you together, all of you suck. That's okay. You're all brand new. That's fine. That's good. If there's one of you that's really good and there's 5 of you that are terrible, you're not going to have any fun. Like that one person is just going to beat everybody and everybody's going to not have as much fun. It's kind of a magical thing for new realms and parks when
Hmm.
everybody's new and everybody is bad at fighting. It's magical because everybody it can be anybody's day.
Yeah.
There's like sometimes natural athleticism and stuff like that will show up for you, but it can be anybody's day. Anybody can pick up a pole arm and be a complete menace. Anybody can like just be doing well that day, and it's a good time. um I think once you get, if you have 6 people, 3 on 3s, volleyball rotate, super super fun. um second thing you can do is, maybe do like a skill building practice. Watch if there's somebody among you that's kind of like the Tisco of the group. Have that person watching
Love
have
it.
that person watching videos. Have that person like checking things out and kind of learning some of the names of the fighters out there, some of the techniques, watching those single sword videos, those sword and board videos, stuff like that, and then take what they learned to the group and maybe try to disperse that information among everybody. Um, Third thing you can do as far as skill building goes is like travel, rent a van, or get somebody that has a huge, a family van or something like that. Pile in, go to the nearest big
Hmm.
event, and you'll meet people. You'll make friends. You'll just get exposed to Belgarth as a whole, and it'll be a whole new world for you. And I guarantee you, your retention rate among those new players once they go to an event will absolutely skyrocket. Skyrocket. They'll be
Yes.
in for life. What's your take, Horace?
Yeah, I don't have a ton in the sense of like what kind of games to run or things like that. Um, but I think that you gave some really good ideas for that. And I think that you also touched on the absolute best thing that you can do, which is do stuff together. If you have a good group and you want to like continue to get better, go to events together.
Mm-hmm.
Find every local little tiny event, show up, especially day events. Just all go together. If you go out and you practice, you all fight, go eat some food together afterwards. Like be a tight group in that like you're all just having fun and hanging out. If you play games together too, play games together. If you want to then like if you have people that are interested, because some people just want to fight and have fun and be a part of a group, don't try to force them to do stuff. They'll continue to get better as you guys get better anyways if they just keep fighting. But if you really want to get into fighting, then the best thing you can do is find some. I'm sure there's people who have better channels full of clips about learning sword fighting than me. But go find the videos. Even go find those old spin videos where he teaches you how to throw every shot. That stuff's awesome, especially when you're brand new. Just learning how to throw a flat wrap, you're gonna kill so many people. Everybody's gonna be like, "What are you doing? How do you do that?" And then as you go, you build those things up. So Don't ever worry about how good you're at or how good you're doing. Just make sure that the environment is fun and inviting and that you're doing stuff together and having a good time, and it will grow naturally from there. And the best thing that you can do is everybody pile in a car and go to an event and go road trip, because that's that is why this game is fun, is going to places and fighting people you don't know. You meet them, you have a good time, you make more friends. I have friends in every part of this country, and I did not do anything besides go and sword fight.
Mhm.
I absolutely love it. It never gets old. Um, and do it as long as my bones let me.
You can
So
even start streams with people. It's wild what happens.
exactly. Yeah.
To touch on that point, when I moved to New Jersey, I had and actually when I moved to Cincinnati and New Jersey, I just had instant pocket friends because I'm like, oh, you sword fight too? Hey, we're friends now, and it's
Yeah.
amazing what this community can do for you. Um, Technopop has a folder of, if you didn't see the chat, has a folder of battles and scenarios. Please reach out to Technopop on Facebook. Reach out to them, and they have all kinds of information for you. You know that you can help with your group. Um, we got a couple more good questions, so I'm going to keep that train going. I am not going to answer the question of which group has added the most to foam fighting. I feel like that's baiting to have a Amtgard Dag Bell comparison, and I don't want to do it, so I'm not answering it.
I'll talk my unit up. I don't care. But
um,
I don't think that it's important who's added the most.
yeah,
Just go and fight and have a good time and add you to every event.
I
The
agree.
more the merrier. It's more fun if we have 1,000 people on the field than if we have 200.
Yeah, I agree.
Just who gives a shit? Go fight.
Um, from Simdri. What's up, Simdri? I was actually in a fighting company with Simdri for a while. Simdri is a relatively new warlord playing in Canada. I'm having some trouble right now. I'm trying to improve and push the fighting culture in the Nine Blades, and I keep running into issues with the Old Guard, especially around reaving standards. How should I handle this? I am not sure how to answer that, but
Me either. What's like, can I get an example issue?
yeah. Simdri, if you can, we'll come back to your question,
Yeah.
and I'll pin it. Just go ahead and talk about what kind of reaving issues you're having. I think as far as one of the reasons I started the stream, as I mentioned, fighting
Mhm.
culture, I feel in Amtgard is on the decline. That's one of the reasons that I joined. And this is not a criticism of the game. This is just my personal
Mhm.
opinion. Is that I feel like fighting culture is kind of on the decline in Amtgard. Good fighters are getting less respect than they used to. It's less in the spotlight. And I feel like that focus on fighting in Belgarth is alive and well. That's why I became Belgrim. That's why I started this stream. That's not to say, hey, we just want to abandon Amtgard and say, well, fuck Amtgard, they don't care about fighting. Because that's not the case. There still is a fighting culture. There's a lot of absolute top tier talent in Amtgard. And, I think it can still make a recovery in some ways. Um, so I think there's a couple nuances to the discussion that you need to have. Don't do what I did, which is be angry and pissy about it and kind of run your mouth about how fighting culture might be on the decline. I feel like I didn't make a lot of friends that way, and some people got a little upset and felt like, because you have to understand right now in Amtgard, there's a whole cohort that has shown up to Amtgard in its current state as it is. So this is all they know. So when you start talking about when you running around like I did and saying fighting culture is dying and and all this kind of stuff and kind of shove it in people's faces, they get mad at you and they're like, why are you pushing this one aspect of the game so hard when there's all these other aspects of the game? So I think it's more
Mhm.
of trying to make connections, make friends with people in the ANS community, make friends with people in the battle game community, and trying to have a seat at the table as opposed to dominate the table like fighting culture used to. Um, I think that's how you kind of promote fighting culture is you make it fun and you show up as a superstar because I know Simdri is an incredible fighter and Simdri has a lot of personality. Show up, be a superstar, Be somebody that they admire and like and look up to. Make friends among those new people. I don't know if you've gotten a sword belt yet, but if you have, throw out those page belts. Throw out some page belts and man-at-arms belts. Bring people into your belt line. It is a tool, and you can use it. And Amtgard is different than Belgarth in the sense that, like, you know, a belt that you give out at Amtgard isn't necessarily a path to knighthood. It just means that you are mentoring that person. They don't have to be a knight. They don't have to follow in your footsteps. So, like, one thing I've done is give out page belts to new people that I think are really promising and show a lot of potential, not just fighting, but just to be a good Amtgarder. So, you know, and one of my best friends and current roommates was one of those initial situations. Somebody that I saw a lot of potential in and, you know, put a page belt on, and now they live with me. You know, so I think that's another step to do, is just get those new people. Create the change out of your modeling clay that you wish to see, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
we have a, let's see, here are the examples. I've been called too overactive as a Reeve. I attempt to step in with a cohesive call made by me and my team the moment fighters cannot decide. You should do that. I agree with you. Again, I'm not seeing the full context. I'm not there, but just from what you're saying, that's how I Reeve. Number 2, I feel a number of the old guard fighters in Nine Blades talk their way to wins and don't want Reeving to move in a direction that would limit this. Fundamentally, I'm trying to take my sports background and apply referee standards to fighting, and the old guard still wants to Reeve off of vibes. To what you said, I love teaching new people. I'm not a sword knight yet, but I do have 2 pages. Okay. So it sounds like what I'm hearing is that there's some cheating, and you don't want people to cheat, so you're Reeving them, and they don't like it. I feel like you said that in a very nice way. So fundamentally, and again, I am just speaking. I'm not, you know, there's no drama in this show. We're trying for no drama here. Really trying.
Good luck.
Good luck, right? So I think that, you know, in this hypothetical situation, if people want to cheat and you're trying to prevent them from cheating, they're not going to take it well. They're just going to be, you know, so they're not the people that you're going to be able to win over. I think.
Correct.
Talking about, so not doing it in situ, but instead winning a culture war. And, you know, I think getting out there, first of all, when you're fighting, be so clean that it's gross. Like, you know, make a production and a big display about how you're fighting clean. Lose, you know, you already got your warlord. Who gives a fuck, right? Like, lose. If you're not sure, just be like, I am dead. You got me. I want, you know, make a big production about how clean you're fighting, so that you can demonstrate those values to people. Exactly. Be the example and let them stew in their own tea.
Yes.
Win the culture war. Second thing, thanks, Karai. Second thing is talk about your sports background. Make a post about it, talk about it, say, these are the standards that I'd like to see for Reeving, and train people, create minions, and have them Reeve, so that it's not just you fighting this battle, so that there are multiple, because it is a culture war, and so have these people Reeving with you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that those are all great points. I would add that Amtgard and Belgarth are the people that show up to fight them. And if half the people that you fight want to interpret the rules differently from you, then half of the people that are fighting are doing that. And even if you don't agree with them, you have to realize that if there's like half of the people are that way, then your game is already half that way.
Yep.
And that's something you're just going to have to accept. So that's not to say that you can't do anything about it, but make it your position to continue doing what you're doing, and just accept that sometimes they're not going to be okay with it and they're not going to like it. But keep fighting the good fight and convincing people and making your case. And don't, what I would caution you from doing is like pushing it in everybody's face all the time, like showing up on Facebook and like being a jerk to people who are like that about it.
Yes.
I would always just make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. And when you see the call and you're the Reeve, then you make the call and you stand by it and you continue to do that. And remember that if you're the other 50%, well, they're just going to have to get used that 50% of the people don't really want them to be, cheat anymore. And there's always going to be that give and take, and it's going to slowly get better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you gotta be okay with winning over the long run and proving to people that your way of playing the game is more fun. And if it's more fun, then people are gonna want to do that. And oh, good, we're on commercial.
Yeah, we're on
Uh,
commercial for a bit. We're good
yeah,
now. I
just
gotta
to
figure
repeat
this
that,
out.
but just keep playing the game and the way that you want to play it, and keep convincing people that the way that you're playing it is more fun and going to be a good time, and keep just being someone that people want to be around. Because I I've fought for a long time and cheating has gotten way better in Belgarth, and the biggest reason is that the type of people that want to lie to you and be dishonorable turn out to just not be the kind of people that want to, you want to stick around. There's no point in any tournament ever if somebody cheats you and making the biggest stink ever about it and trying to talk your way out of it, because that person is not going to last. They're always going to burn their bridges. They're always going to get themselves kicked out.
Yeah.
It's a game.
And like
Go
we
have fun.
we know
There are
yeah,
stakes,
we know who
but
the cheaters are.
like,
We talk about them
yeah,
all the time.
let them set themselves on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't, like, always do a good job in presenting yourself in a good light and showing people that the way that you want to play the game, where you're very open and honest about communicating, and keep your case, keep prosecuting it, and keep being consistent with it. If you have your own guy that he seems like he slept something, call him out. That's, over the long run, you're gonna really see that culture shift, because it turns out that people would just rather play with people that don't suck.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't
Facts.
have to, the only work that you have to do is just, stand up for yourself and do a good job when it's your turn to do the job.
Some fantastic questions. I'm gonna do timing on the ad breaks a little better. So like when an ad break comes up, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, there's an ad break coming. I'm gonna go piss," and then we'll come back
Yeah,
and
yeah.
talk more maybe. But then again, are we robbing people who have subscribed? I don't know. We're figuring this out.
I don't think so. Oh, because the subscribers don't see the ads.
Yeah.
I see, I see.
All right.
Um,
So back to our agenda. Who are Tanith and Horus? We talked about Horus. We learned who Horus is. Who is Tanith?
yeah, who are you?
I'm Tanith. So I started playing foam fighting. Started in Amtgard in 1993.
Oh my god. I need to give you some context. In 1993, I was 4 years old.
1993.
That's amazing.
Um, I was living in Capel, Texas, and my dad showed me this newspaper article and was like, "Hey, look at these guys chasing each other. It's like a Renaissance thing." And I was like, "Well, I obviously want to fucking do that. Let's go."
Yeah.
And so I went to an Amtgard Park in Capel, Texas. I went a couple of times. They disappeared. The internet was really this proto thing, so that didn't exist very well. So I wasn't able to find them. I didn't know who any of the Amtgarders were, so like I couldn't find them again. And I have a picture somewhere. There's a picture of me with this black t-shirt on that I had nailed wooden boards to. That was my armor. And I know. My swords were great because
Nailed?
Nailed. I nailed wooden boards to a shirt, through a shirt, and that was my armor that was not allowed. Let me be very clear. They took one look at that and said, get out of here with that shit. But I tried it.
Did it stab you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't. It was just a long time ago, all right? I remember
okay.
nailing this board to this black shirt.
Okay.
Shorts. They're saying okay. One time for the one time. I wore the shorts. There we go. All right, that's all you get.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You get short shorts.
So I wore I wore, you know, and I had good swords though, because my dad went to a Ren fair and he found these Amtgard swords being sold, and they were actually they were made out of PVC, but they were good, you know.
Yeah.
So I went a couple
style at the time.
Yeah. So I went a couple times. That didn't pan out, and then it was 1998 that I went to. Somebody had a local group that eventually turned into this group KBC that is actually still around today. I went a couple times. I went a couple times to check this local group out, and then so that was kind of top of mind. And then when I was at the fantasy shop looking for a D&D group, I saw this flyer and it said Amtgard, and I said, I know what that is. And so I went to it was called the Shire of Western Gate. It was a local Amtgard park. The core park, even though it has changed names and changed contracts, it is still, the core group, in a sense, is still around today, still exists today. And I started playing regularly in 1998 and never really quit. I was 18 years old at the time. I was 13 when I first started in Texas. It was V6. It was V5 when I started. It was V6 in 98 when I really started, in a sense. It was, that location was, it was the fantasy shop in Kirkwood. It is not still open, unfortunately. And so I started playing. We were all like, it was the local Amtgard Park. Thank you for following. The local Amtgard Park had split off from this Kingdom of the Broken Crown group, and they were like this. There was like 40 of them, but they were all new fighters, relatively new. Then we, you know, and none of us had been exposed to Amtgard across the country. This guy named Eric Clark, who still plays to this day, he found the rule book for Amtgard online, and he was like, we should play this game instead. And so just started this Amtgard Park. And so there's like 40 of us running around, have never interacted with somebody outside of St. Louis from a boffing perspective, you know. So we were like super role play heavy. We had all these alt classes and stuff. It was wild. And then this guy named Sludig visited us from Texas and was like, okay, y'all need to learn some shit. So we learned how to do golf clubs and kite spar weapons, and, you know, from Sludig we learned how to actually fight. We learned how to, you know, basically what Amtgard culture was really about at that point. I started.
Such a good name. I
Sludig?
love it so much. Yeah, it's like fucking Gandalf showing up to teach you guys how to sword.
Basically what happened.
Found all the hobbits.
I got my name. So I got my name Tanith from. I was playing. It was around 1996. I was playing this online game called Gemstone 3, and this was before World of Warcraft. This was before Ultima Online. This was like one of the first actual massive multiplayer games called Gemstone. It was a MUD. It was just text, and they had a name filter, and so I put in, you know, all these Arutha and Boric and all these like fantasy names that I was super into, and so I put in Tanis from Tanis Half Elf, and it didn't work, and I was like, Tanis with a lisp. That's what I went for. And so we were Tanith. And
oh, that's so good.
I'm queer. I'm allowed to use that voice, for the record. For everybody else. I put in Tanith with a lisp, and then I've been Tanith ever since. So 98, 2000, 2001, I joined. I was never super focused on. I wasn't super stick jockey at first. I was more of a battle gamer. Was really into Druid, and I joined. We started a fighting company called Sol Invictus, which many people have
No,
heard.
no fucking way.
Yes,
No way.
yes,
You started that group?
yeah. I was the founder of Soul Invictus. I was one of so the group actually started twice. Um,
Yeah.
and the first Soul Invictus, we had these half cloaks. There was four of us that founded it. It was me, Stephen the Black, Rip passed away, Galen Whitelight, and my knight Johan. We started Soul Invictus, and then Soul Invictus died. I know, Soul Invictus died. I joined. I was a Saracen initiate for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and then Saracens. Yep. So then Saracens died, and my friend at the time, Wisp, was like, "Hey, there's a bunch of knights. I wasn't a knight yet, but he's like, I got a bunch of knights who are not in a fighting company. What if we brought back Soul Invictus?" And I said, "Let's go." So me and Wisp co-founded Soul Invictus, and
That's fucking wild.
nobody knows that anymore. That
That's
is
so crazy.
Yep, that's something that's lost into time because we're getting
Uh,
to the point where people don't know who Soul Invictus are. Um,
yeah, I haven't seen anybody out in Soul Invictus colors in a long time. But
they
they
died.
came out for a while.
Yeah,
I used to love fighting Testicles.
it's
This is the
Soul
only one
Invictus
that I
died.
remember.
They which
Yeah.
I sort of had a hand in. We'll get to that. I'll mention
Oh,
that.
geez.
Yeah. Um, so I gotta remember drama free stream, drama free stream. Um, so I was in Soul Invictus for a long time. Um, Will Wisp went overseas to fight in Iraq or Afghanistan, and it was just me.
You did? You did?
No, Wisp did.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like,
I never served, never served. Um,
okay.
so I was trying to keep Soul Invictus together. I was also playing live music, so my attention was super divided. So Soul Invictus was falling apart. I was also becoming more stick jockey at this point.
Okay.
So this was, I want to say this was around 2005, 2006, in that era, in that range, maybe 2007. Um, and I had basically said, like, hey, this fighting company's not working out for me. We had done a game of shit. What's the game? What's the game with the quick and the dog skull and all that stuff?
I don't know.
Somebody in chat help me out. Jugging. Thank you. Jugging.
Jogging. Okay, I
We,
do know jogging.
we did a jugging match, and the Justicars were the team we were fighting against, and Justicars won the match. Um, but they said that I was the MVP because I was like coaching for the Soul Invictus team, and I was like, rallying everybody and really leading the charge. We just didn't win. Justicars beat us because there was a bunch of warlords on the team and
Yeah.
whatnot. But they said that I get the MVP for the whole tournament because and that was like
Cool.
super impressive, and like I was talking to those guys and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to be a Justicar, and so I left Soul Invictus. I joined the Justicars. I was the face of the Justicars for a long time. Fun fact of the Justicars is that the name is misspelled. The actual correct way you spell Justicar has an I in it. Horse is like, who the fuck are the Justicars? Um,
I don't know anything about Amcard,
it's,
really.
it's
I'm
an Amp guard.
sorry.
It's an Amp guard unit. Um, so Justicars is spelled with an I and it's pronounced Justicure. Just for the record, they spell it and say it wrong. But I was like the friendly face. I was the white knight of the Justicars for a long time, and then I moved to. I got knighted in 2008. I got knighted for service, which is flame in Amtgard.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I missed something. I started
That I
playing.
do know.
I started playing Belgarth right when it was founded, like right when it split from Dagger here.
Whoa.
I started playing an Arnor part
I was gonna say an
time.
Arnor.
Yeah, I started playing
How
with
many times did you fight Angmarth? How many times have you been
million.
tackled by a man in chainmail?
Uh, I don't know that Angmarth has ever tackled me. To be honest, he has definitely shoved the shit out of me. But you've been tackled 3 times.
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Every time. Like, I don't think you could do this.
You can't do that. Come on, Mike.
It's
And he
okay.
knows that. He knows that.
Yeah.
That means he likes you.
He's good fun.
Yeah.
I never got hurt. It's
That
fine.
just means he likes you.
Yeah.
Um, so I started playing. So when they split off a DAG and they started this new Bell Park, that was right when Mike was dating Chase, his baby mama, rest in
Hmm.
power. And I was friends with her, so she got me to come out to the Bell Park a couple times. So technically, I've been playing Belgarth a long time. Um, so
Hell yeah.
where was I? Okay, so I moved to New Jersey. There was very little DAG out in New Jersey, but I did it occasionally. I moved to New. No, I moved to Cincinnati. I'm sorry. I moved to
Hmm.
Cincinnati. I played DAG out there. I moved to New Jersey. I played Amp out there. And then when I moved back to St. Louis, all my friends had started this Amp unit called the Scions. And I was like, well, I told the Justicars, I was like, hey guys, like, these are like all my best buds. I got to do this. And they accepted it. They were like, that's fine. Go be a Scion. So
Hmm.
I joined the Scions, and fun fact: when I sent my Justicar garb back to the Justicars in Texas, I printed out a bunch of pictures of dicks and put it interspersed in the garb. So whenever they lifted up the tunic, all these pictures of dicks like fluttered out.
Oh my god, I love it. That's so good.
um, and so I joined Scions. I got knighted again for battle in shit. When was that?
What's the battle knighthood in Amgard?
Uh, Knight of Battle is what it's called. So you can get
Oh, sick.
Battle Master is like the
Oh, okay,
warlord.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I got my Battle Master basically when they came out. Because they here's another some lore fun fact.
Hmm.
The committee that put together Battle Master is relatively new, and when the committee that put together the award for Battle Master, when they talked about the battle leadership path to get it, they
Hmm.
used me as an example and said, okay, for example,
Nice.
these are the things that Tanith does.
Yeah.
So like if you do these things, you can be a battle master. Thank you, Fuzz. Appreciate it. I will always preen over that. I'm so humbled and honored to.
So good.
But so let's see. Got knighted for battle. I think in 2021 or something like that. Whenever I was the first battle knight in Taldagor, and then last year last year last year I was at Known World War,
Hmm.
and Bell says to me, hey, you should check out Armageddon. And I'm like, man, I've done Belgarth in the past, like it's not for me, because I played during the Ball and Wall days, and I was like, it's
Yeah, yeah.
just not for me.
Oh man.
And he says, I think you'll like it. And
Yeah.
so I had been checking out some TikToks of like some of the Blade Master stuff, and I was like, maybe I will like it. So I went to Geddon, met you,
Hmm.
and the rest
I wasn't
is
that good.
you weren't. I didn't meet you at Geddon.
No,
When did I meet you
not
then?
that good. I was supposed to go. I didn't go to Get In the year that you first went to Get In because had I go to music festival in Chicago every year in June,
Okay,
and I was going with my little brother, and I had already bought tickets, and it was on the same weekend. This year, thankfully, different weekends.
okay. When did I meet you then?
Oktoberfest.
Thanks for the follow. Was it Ockfest? Have I
Yeah,
only known you since Ockfest?
only since
That's fucking
Lockfest. It hasn't even
wild.
been a year. Yeah,
Wild.
isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Um, so went to Geddon. Thank you for following, Salty Spittoon. Went
Hell
to
yeah.
Geddon, and it was Friday night at Geddon. They were doing this big like dance party thing,
Hmm.
and I started crying. I started sobbing because I felt like I was in love. And it felt like I had broken
Yeah.
up with this partner that I've been with for 30 years,
Hmm.
because I was like, I'm home. This is, because I talked about my frustrations with fighting culture and Amtgard and whatnot. And I was home. I was like, this is everything I ever wanted. This was as good, if not better, than it was in the old days of Amtgard. The fighting culture is here. The nightlife culture is here. I'm home. holy shit, I'm not in love with Amgard anymore. Oh my god.
Oh
And I was
man.
crying.
Yeah.
And then the last chapter of the story, I guess, was later that year. I was grinding, 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 and I got my warlord last year. Was it last year? It was last year. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Congrats. Yeah,
Okay.
I know because that I went to Oktoberfest.
Hell yeah.
People were like, "Hey, there's warlords here." It's like, "Oh, I gotta go fight them."
And we did.
So
We fought. We were.
yeah,
We were. It feels weird to say this to my friend, but for the chat, we were instantly friends. We were like, we
yeah.
started fighting, and I was like, "Hi, kind of love you already." So like, we were just instant friends,
Yeah,
and like every event we went to after that, I was
the
like,
thing.
"Horus, hanging out with you," and then here we are.
I I didn't even have to stab you in the eye. Usually that's how I make friends.
Maybe because you
Stab
did.
people in the eye.
You were so polite. You even asked me, you're like, "Hey, how do you feel if I knock you to the ground a little bit? Are you cool with that?" And I was like, "No, not yet. Now I'm fine. Go ahead,
No,
beat the shit out of me."
please.
At the time, I was like, "Oh, please don't."
But it's so fun.
Let's take it. It is fun. I figured that out now. Let's take it to the chat. Let's see if you. I did meet Brazen. I did meet Brazen at Geddon, and
I believe it.
I was actually primed to meet Brazen. So when I was telling my friends that, hey, I'm going to this Armageddon thing, my friend Cheney is like, hey, you have to meet the coolest fucking girl you'll ever meet in your entire life. Her name is Brazen. She's so cool. And I was like, okay. And I felt like I kept seeing her the entire event because she absolutely stands out. But, I was like, I'm not going to like, hi, I'm supposed to be friends with you. I'm not going to do that. So, I I can't even with that comment. So at the very end of the event, I was like, "Hi, are you Brazen?" And Brazen was like, "Why, yes, I am." And then we were also instant friends. And then, like, just started talking online all the time and just being instant buddies. And then fell in friend love with Brazen at Ockfest because me and my partner at the time, Lauren, we were hanging out, we were drinking, and we were sword fighting at Ockfest, and Brazen is like drinking and being wild, and just we're just like it was just chemistry, and Brazen. The moment I fell in friend love with Brazen was when we were sitting there at the pit fights, and she's like, "Hey, I gotta go, but I'll be back." While I'm gone, and she pulls this like crochet, oh my god, I can't remember, what was it, a frog or a penguin? She pulls this crochet animal out of her outfit, and is like, hang on to the, what the fuck was it, a penguin? She goes, hang on to the eggplant. It was an eggplant. Yeah. She goes, hang on to the eggplant of love, I'll be back. And so I'm just holding this crocheted eggplant saying, what the fuck just happened? Instant friend love. In friend love immediately.
That's so good.
All right, let's talk questions. What do we got here? What is or was my favorite class to play in a battle game? Historically, I don't know. I'm not I got 9 dragons. I technically am a crafter, but I don't know crafting. It was crochet or knitwork, needlework, needlepoint. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. What is or was my favorite class to play in Amtgard? It was historically it was Scout. I love shooting. There was a keep one year when there was like 600-700 people, and I swear that I got over 1,000 kills in one battle game. I had 2 kids running and grabbing me arrows, and I'm just literally loosing these arrows as fast as I possibly can, and every single one just plow, dead center mass, plow, center mass, because I'd had so much pre-workout before the battle game, so I was flying, and I'm just like kill, love Scout, absolutely love Scout. Play love Scout, love Archer. In V6 and 7, especially V6, Barbarian for days. We used to call it leg day because you could fight after death and be revived, resurrected, and then fight after death again. And you got 2 points of free armor. when you were
Yeah, yeah.
berserking, and it was so fun. That was everybody's. That was thank you. That was everybody's battle game strategy was fight after death barbarians. So between those three, I'd say.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got question wise? Can you call me daddy? No. Or can you call me daddy? No. That job is taken by somebody. Oh, that's what they said. That's someone else's job. I'm daddy to somebody else already, technically. Sorry. They asked the question. I'm going to answer it. Let's see. I was the one to introduce you to. Did Brazen introduce us? You were fighting in
I
the night
believe it.
pit in front
I
of.
don't remember. I don't know that that's. Is that true? I feel
I don't think
like
that's true. I
I
already had
already
met
had
you.
talked
Yeah.
to Tanith and sparred Tanith before the pits.
Yeah. You introduced me to. Brazen introduced me to Colin.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. And I think Brazen tried to introduce us, but we'd already met.
Yeah. I basically, if somebody comes to me and is like, "Hey, there's warlords here," I'm like, point them out to me, and then I go fight them.
Point them out.
I
Must
just,
fight them right now.
yeah.
And I taught you. I taught you that one, the Uncle Delos.
The Uncle Delos.
Because I was getting you with the where it was like I step, press
Oh,
your
yeah.
sword, step right, get you on the shoulder, and then
Mhm.
I think it was the next event you were at. You fucked me up with it the whole event.
Yeah. That was Wolfpack opener. I was peaking
You
real
were
hard at
peaking,
Wolfpack opener.
annihilated me. Because
Yeah.
I was up on you at Ockfest, and then Wolfpack he fucking ate my lunch.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get back to Wolfpack shape.
Hell yeah.
That was intense.
Blade Master Fox says, "How did you fall in love with red fighting? It's such a great story." I touched on this a little bit. I was watching TikToks and I watched these red fighters, and to me it was just absolutely magical because for a long time, and that's starting to change. For a long time, red fighting in Amtgard was looked down upon, like specifically two-handed sword fighting. Everybody considered a two-handed sword a newbie weapon, so it was just like you see somebody with a two-handed sword, you're like, whatever, okay, buddy. And then I'm watching these guys do these magical things, and I want to call out Luster specifically. I remember watching Luster just being like, that is so anime and it's working so well. Okay, let's go. And that's when I started doing. That's when I showed this interest in red fighting, and that's one of the reasons I went to Geddon is because I wanted to see it in action. And I saw it in action, and I'm like, these guys are superheroes, man. Like, I was super impressed. I'd never seen great sword fighting done to that level at that level of skill, and it was like super impressive. So I aspired to be a blade master myself, and I talked to Fox, and I was pursuing an apprenticeship. And then it was this last Geddon when I watched the Blade Master trials and watched all of the apprentices fucking just die afterwards. Like they're like laying there thinking about like calling a medic in or something. I'm like, I can't do that. I am too old. My body is too broken. I have Crohn's disease. I have heart disease. I can't do this. This will kill me. I'm 2 years running going to the hospital for heat exhaustion, so I can't do this. So I unfortunately pulled back and said, I'll never be a blade master, but I'm still here to fight, still here to teach,
Hell yeah.
We got an ad break. Ad break in progress. Okay, I'm gonna
Nice.
pee. I'm gonna pee.
Do it.
I'm gonna go pee. Tell a story while I pee. I can still hear you too.
I don't want to tell a story. I don't. Actually, no. I have one really good story. No, it's not a really good story. No, I think I'm going to answer this question. Somebody asked who my top 5 fighters are. I don't have a top 5 fighters. I have like a lot of fighters, but my favorite people in the whole world to fight are Peter the Quick, Dane. It's just Dane. He's lives in town. He's also an Emir, and you've probably never seen him. Maybe you've heard of him. Probably not still.
Never heard the tape.
Amazing, unbelievable head for sword fighting. And really fucking strong. In fact, actually, no, my nose is finally back to normal. He hit me in the nose the other day, and I thought I broke it. Um, oh God. Sir Tree Thump. He's actually another Emir, also in Numenor, and living proof that you can just keep fighting forever, and you will just keep getting better forever. And most people I fight these days, I enjoy fighting them. I do pretty good, and I don't really ever get beat up. And I go fight Jeff, and I feel like I'm brand new again. It's ridiculous. He just beats the dog shit out of me every time. Um, pick some non-Emir, Chimera, up in Chicagoland. Absolute monster. He reminds me of fighting some of the old school really good fighters. Where they can just like stand there and hit you, except he can also just like walk at you and kill you too. Really great fighter. And then I don't know if I have like another one to pick. There's lots of people that I've watched fight that I really want to fight, or I've never gotten the chance to fight. I think that my favorite warlord that I've ever seen fight and or fought was Sir Leaf. He's incredible. Watching him fight in an Oktoberfest with a javelin and a sword and just like no words. I've never seen somebody use a javelin like that. He was just like blocking, not only blocking with it, but then like skewering them. Like it wasn't what's the word? Like it had no flex.
Mm-hmm.
He just like stabbed people with it. It was incredible. Um it was unbelievable.
Rest in power.
So
Rest in power, Leaf.
yeah.
Leaf was absolutely built different, and so there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of folks on here that has no idea who Leaf is. I feel like if we could pin it on one person in the entire history of foam fighting that has brought foam fighting to what it is today, it's Leaf. Leaf was built different. Leaf was just talented in ways that were unbelievably cool. And from what I understand, a lot of modern foam fighting standards and the way that we do things and the way that we approach
Mhm.
things originally came from Leaf. Leaf was unique. Leaf was truly a unique person.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun. And Brennan and Spin came to
Mhm.
Oktoberfest 2010, I think, and 2011. And it was really good to fight all of them.
Oh yeah,
Uh, they were all very, very good. But Leaf was the only one who was like super nice.
that
You
absolutely
know,
tracks. Yes.
yeah. And Spin has a lot of good stories, but kind of a dick.
Yes. No drama stream, but
Yeah.
facts.
I
Facts.
don't think that anybody is gonna disagree. So
Nobody's gonna disagree.
I like him, you know.
um, let's see. So Okfest was the first time we met. Kodite, probably. Actually,
Yeah.
Lady Rabbit says, "Seriously, where did you get your shirt?" This was actually a Warlord gift to me. Um, oh my god, I forgot who gave it to me. I think Lauren gave it to me, but I'm not sure. Um, maybe. Somebody. Yeah, it's not controversial to say spins a dick. This. I think this was like. I think this was based. This was a video game called Warlord, and this was the logo for it, and so somebody bought this for me for a Warlord gift. Um, Tanith always has the best clothes.
That's so
It's
cool.
a non-binary
You really
swag.
do.
It's a non-binary swag, baby. I used to dress like a depressed middle-aged man, and then I'm like, oh wait, I'm this. Okay.
You know what? One day you just wake up and you're like, I want to be cool.
Hell yeah.
And you just do it. It's that easy. You can just change it anytime.
It was for me specifically. It was the gender thing because I was like, well, I
Yeah.
have to dress like a man, and this is what men wear. And then when I kind of got out of that mindset and I started shopping for hoe clothes, I was like, oh, and then it kind of like transitioned into literally into the stuff I wear now.
Yeah.
I absolutely did steal Sydney's shorts, and And like, if you haven't met Sydney, she's my partner. She's, how tall are you, Sydney? She's like 5 foot tall, and so she has these tiny little shorts, and I love squeezing into them and wearing them myself. It's because they're like the shortest shorts because they're not built for me. Let's see, any more questions? Let me see. Questions. Looking, you talked about top 5 fighters. Nice to meet you as well, Reaver of the Kayulux. Top 5 national event site showers. I don't shower at events. I shower in the hotel room, so I can't answer that question. I'm a hoteler.
I've never showered in the Billy Creek showers, but they look pretty nice.
They do look nice.
I really like the showers at whatever the place they held Ragnarok at in Pennsylvania. Those are probably the best showers that I've ever used in an event site. I really try very hard not to shower at events. Like,
hotel it, man. Hotel is what you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brazen, I actually shower typically twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. Definitely at events. Yeah. Well, I'm Italian, so I'm like greasy.
I understand.
You know, so
I have a half Italian side of the family.
All right. So like, you know, it's like I gotta get all this grease off of me. But like at events specifically, so I remember like I would go to events and I wouldn't shower throughout the event or whatnot, and you know, I wouldn't wash my garb every week or anything, and which a lot of people still do. Mm-hmm. And I remember this guy named Hobbit at Ampguard, I want to say in the mid 2000s. He looks at me and he goes, "Tanith, you're always so fucking dirty." And it just like, it was just like getting hit in the face with an axe, and I'm like, really? Shit, dude. And so ever since then, I wash my garb religiously. I iron it. I shower every day at events.
Oh yeah.
It was that, you know, it was the fucking autistic in me that was just like, a human being showers, so I will do that because I've been criticized for not showering.
I always try to like not smell terrible, and I try to bring like garb for every day so that I'm not wearing sweaty garb again.
Hell yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get like fucking shit on my feet because I stood barefoot in some shower or whatever. I guess I always bring like, they have Crocs now, but back in the day I just wear my flip-flops in the shower so I don't have to stand on some disease-ridden floor. But
okay, we're talking about it, so I'm gonna say it. The Billy Creek showers. I walked into the Billy Creek bathroom one time, and the smell, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on Twitch, and I don't give a fuck. The smell of vaginosis or whatever it is, like the somebody's got a problem down south.
Oh no!
It was just completely flooding the shower area, and I was just like, literally, it was so bad. I just turned around and walked out, and that's what I think of when I think of the Billy Creek showers. Because
that association, you just gotta break it by going in the showers over and over again.
All right. Everybody who goes to a Billy Creek event, just smell nice, wear your best clothes. Let's change that core memory for me, because it's really it's in there. It's in there.
See, I only live an hour from Billy Creek now, so I just drive home and take a shower.
Sense.
I'll just not sleep as much.
Makes sense. That's I feel an hour that's fair game for not, you know.
I'm gonna try at Oktoberfest camp. See how it goes.
I got bad news in terms of Oktoberfest for me. So my aforementioned roommate, bestie, Squire, is getting married that Friday, and I am officiating it, so I have to be there. And
I know, I can't believe you have to tell him you can't officiate.
I know, I'm gonna miss Colin's fucking Knight's trial. I'm
just messing with you.
I think I was telling you and Colin that at the same time during Helldivers, and I was like, hey buddy, I'm sorry. I can't be there, man. And
yeah.
But I'm gonna be there Saturday. I'm gonna be there for the ceremony. You know, Move Wedding to Oktoberfest. I'm trying to get Broden to play Belgarth so bad. I'm trying so hard to get Broden to come out. And the thing is that, hey, news flash for everybody here. I'm getting knighted again in Belgarth next year.
Hey,
And so,
congrats.
Broden will be coming to a Belgarth event finally. Yes, and I'm bringing Sydney with me. We will be at Ockfest on Saturday. Yes, someone is talking about you,
Yeah.
Broden, and your marriage. That is screwing up Ockfest for everybody. Oh yeah, Broden should come to WashU.
There you go.
No, I am officiating. Stop it. Both my roommates are on. Broden and the fiance are on, and they're giving me trouble now. All right, question for you, Horace. Top 5. Let's just go with the number 1. What is your favorite fighting moment? I said mom. Did I said mom? I thought mom. Sydney and mom and me. We're all going on Saturday.
So many. I don't know that I can pick a. I can tell you my favorite Belgarth moment.
Hit me.
I can't pick a favorite fighting moment. I can't pick amongst the many enjoyable things that I've done in sword fighting, but my favorite Belgarth moment ever was the last time I attended Battle for the Ring, which please don't remind me, it was far too long ago. And I hope to go one year, but it will not be next year because work sucks. This year's just gonna suck for me. I can't even believe they're gonna let me take Oktoberfest off. So, I was at Battle for the Ring, and I went out with, I don't even remember if it was Frosty's or somebody's huge, very light red sword, or it might even been like a glaive. And this was before the recent like new red technology post-COVID, where all of them are super light. And I was full of pre-workout, and I just like absolutely obliterated people, just swinging stick. It's the last day of the event. I've been to all of it, and I just crushing it, having a good time, hanging out with my friends. You know, like I said, the best thing in Belgarth is you just go with a bunch of your crew. You go somewhere, you meet new people, you have a good time. It's so good. And I'm at the burrito truck getting a burrito, and I just like turn around and like, you ever watch a movie and like the music like tunes you in, and like you just suddenly like, it's like you can hear again,
Bing.
and it's
Yep.
like snap, my like life like tuned in. And I was standing there, and I was standing next to Himmel, who's like one of my best friends, and I turned to him and I was like, Brendan, this is a perfect moment. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but I'm like standing here right now. This is the best it ever gets. Like, I feel so good right now. This is an absolute perfect moment. And
Hell yeah.
that's the best thing that I've ever experienced in Belgarth.
Hell yeah.
Just a long event, having a good time with the friends. I think we were waiting, getting burritos while they did the award ceremony or something. And yeah,
Hell
Belgarth's the
yeah.
shit.
It is.
I've had a lot of perfect moments since then. I
Mhm.
didn't know that there would be a lot more, but
There's a
it
bunch
was
of
it
them.
was really good.
The my favorite battle game moment I already mentioned was the keep, where there was a whole bunch of people and I was shooting a bow and I had multiple people just bringing me arrows, and it was just like, it was an absolute shooting gallery, and for some reason everything clicked and I was peak and I was just murdering probably over 1,000 kills. Not gonna lie. Um, that was a battle game moment. My favorite fighting moment, getting my warlord was great. Definitely not a great fighting moment. It was just a sloggy tournament that I was sick for. I was having a Crohn's flare up during the tournament. Was throwing
Oh
up
jeez.
on the field. I was throwing up, wiping my mouth, going in and fighting. Um, it was super close. And then it was kind of like it ended up on there was a reeve call because there was headshots that were occurring against me, and so
Mm-hmm.
I was head down throw, head down throw, head down throw. It happened several times, and the reeves were asking like, and I was behind. I was like half a point behind Zach, like the entire thing. um, and so it all came down to this last um, red fight, and red,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a glaive fight, and so you know, yeah, no one wanted to throw up on their gear, so it all came down to this last thing. I was down. It was best 3 out of 5. I lost the
Yeah.
first. I lost the first two, and it
Holy
was
shit.
right, and it was my third tournament. And I'm just like, I was like, I'm Warlord if I win this, but shit, I guess not today. Today's not the day, and so I win. I get one.
Mm-hmm.
He headshots me and I win. Got a second one. Tied up. This is it. He headshots me. Down to shoulder. Head down. Right. Namp guard. We've right away. Always. So I throw as he's doing this. Second thing happens. Headshot down. I throw. Third time. Headshot down. I throw. Happened 3 times in a row. Right. I have no idea if I'm hitting him because I'm like dizzy at this point. I'm like, fuck, I
Yeah.
just got headshot with a glaive 3 times, you know? And they're like, okay, they're like, all right. What happened? And I was like, well, I did get hit in the shoulder, but I specifically remember it was like head down. And they're like, okay. And I was like, yeah, so head down, through, head down, through, head down, through. And the Reva's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we saw. And I was like, did I win? And they're like, yeah, you won. And I was like, oh shit, I won. Oh fuck, I'm a warlord. And I fell to my knees and just started crying,
Hell yeah.
and and it was like it was great. It was a really good moment because my partner was there, who we're not together anymore, but she's still one of my
Mm-hmm.
best friends, and she was super supportive of the entire journey. One of my besties, Tess, was there, who just came with us. We drove all the way to Rising Winds just to just to support me in this quest.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was with me, and so that was like a really nice moment. um, I'm gonna do a 2-for-1. I'm gonna just keep talking because it's a stream. We
That's
can't.
okay. I'll tell a fighting story to even
Oh
it
yeah.
out too. I have one, my favorite kill.
So so I get Warlord, right, and as soon as I qualify for it, um, like I think I forgot what happened. I think I went to SKBC, got Warlord, and then went to Equinox
Mm-hmm.
and fought with a bunch of people at Equinox. And then that was the Equinox that plagued everybody with COVID. Remember that one?
Oh jeez.
Like everybody that went to Equinox got COVID. And so I get sick. And, you know, like just got Warlord, sick with COVID. And really sick. First time I got COVID. And then I did Paxlovid, you know, like the medication that makes your symptoms not as bad, keeps you out of the hospital, right? So unbeknownst to me, Paxlovid interacts with marijuana, and well, I knew, but I didn't know how bad it does. And so, like day 5 of Paxlovid, I chance it and I smoke my vape pen a little bit, and I'm fine. So then I go and get some sushi, and I ate the sushi, and then when that fat hit my system and mixed with the vape pen, and then hit with the Paxlovid, all of a sudden I'm like in this stratosphere. Like I'm greened out in ways that it is not natural, and I'm just like, holy shit! And I start throwing up, vomiting. I can't stop vomiting. And it's so bad it gets to the point where I call 911 because I think I'm legitimately going to have some kind of medical issue. They show up.
Jeez.
They show up and I did, like I threw up so much that like I got polyps on my what do you call it? Polyps on my gallbladder from throwing up so much. And I ended up going to the hospital multiple times, and they had to give me all this medication to stop me from throwing
God.
up. It was horrible. And so this all happens. They give me a steroid because I'm like dying. And
Yeah.
like I come out of it. I'm well. I'm cleared to the doctor to fight. That next weekend is Keep at the Borderlands. And so, brand new Warlord. Like, I haven't gotten the award yet, but I just qualified for Warlord. Literally everybody knows it. And then I almost fucking die from COVID and Paxlovid interaction. And then without having a single fighter practice, I go to Keep on the Borderlands, where like everybody's gonna be like, "Who's this new warlord?" So I'm terrified, and like you know, I've always right. I always had all this anxiety, but I'm on a steroid, and it's one of those steroids they give you when you're sick.
Magic,
right? It's one of those steroids they give you when you're sick. The one everybody takes. You know, what's it called? Somebody in chat will know.
I know you're talking about. I just had
right?
shingles this year, and they gave it to me, and I was working out even though I had shingles for the week that I was on steroids. So I was like, I could do this.
Right? So I didn't realize it was like a steroid. I thought it was just like you know, something for your nose or whatever. And then so I went to Keep with no, you know, really, you know, barely clinging on to life, and I whooped ass because I was on a steroid. And literally whooped a whole bunch of ass and felt like I really like proved myself. And I'm like, wow, I'm really good at this. And then I tell my doctor, I'm like, hey, maybe it's because prednisone. That's it. It's prednisone. So I tell my doctor, I'm like, hey, I don't know, maybe if it like helped out with my stomach or something, but I just did really, really well when I was on prednisone. Is that something you can prescribe to me regularly? And they're like, of course you did well. You were on steroids. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
But like, funny story, but also good moment, because it was like, even though I had chemical help, that was like the moment where it really dispelled my imposter syndrome. And I was like, I am a warlord. Yeah, I am. Yes.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, it's not like it gives you skill. Like, it just makes you better at doing what you do.
Yeah. Tell me about your favorite fight.
All right. Just so everybody knows, this is Pharaoh. This is my first dog.
Hi, Pharaoh.
She's the older one. The other one was Bastion. And she's the perfect dog.
Oh.
The only thing that she is not perfect about is she eats her own poop. And Bastion's poop. And it's very annoying. But besides that, she's an angel. And I love her.
I'm perfect, and I do that too, so whatever.
You eat your own poop. All right, so my favorite kill ever. I was at Ragnarok, big field. I think it was a regen battle. And I don't know, have any of you guys ever heard of the game called Bowling for Romans?
Yes! You should tell the home team about it,
but one of my favorite games in Bellegarth, which is probably not surprising to people who know me. So Bowling for Romans is a game that you play sort of with yourself and anybody else who wants to play, where you run into people legally, you shield bash people, and then you just try to knock people down. And the idea behind Bowling for Romans, you're bowling with yourself as the bowling ball. The idea is that the most people that you can like legally knock down in one roll of yourself by running at them is like the winner. You get the high score, right? And so it's kind of hard to knock down more than one person, but if you get a good one, you can get like 4. If you kind of knock somebody into someone else and they all like trip over themselves, it's good. So I see this guy, and I know that I can hit him safely because he's a little bit bigger than me. He's got a big tower shield, so I'm like, cool, I can run into this guy full speed, and he's gonna see me from the front. I'm not gonna hurt him. He's just gonna go down. And so I run as fast as I can. I'm 21 at the time too, so I'm like jacked as shit. I've been working out a ton, and I hit this guy.
Yeah.
Woefully misjudged how big he was. Because when I encountered this guy's shield, he doesn't fucking move at all. I hit his shield and go splat. And I'm moving so fast that when I hit his shield, I like slam my head on the ground
Oh my
and
god.
slide past him because I'm running so fast and I hit him that I just clothesline myself basically.
Yes, that's
Now,
wild.
thankfully, I'm like behind my shield when I hit him, so I'm fine. I'm just like
Yeah,
sliding.
you sit there like, huh?
And as I come to a stop, I like skid to a stop behind him in the back of his line as some other people are walking back to the line to fight. I look up and there's a guy, standing there right over me. And he looks at me and I look at him and he doesn't kind of like takes a second and I stab him in the nuts. Cause like I'm here to kill them, right? I'm
Yes.
not just bowling for Romans. We're playing regen battles. It's time to fight. What are you doing just standing there? You should have hit me.
Jesus. That's
So I
funny.
stab that dude in the nuts, and then I get up and I run back to my own line, like with my tail between my legs, because I think I look like an idiot because I
No.
literally just ran like
Hero.
20 yards across the field straight into a dude and then like splattered myself. Yeah,
Absolute hero.
that's my favorite Belgarth kill ever.
That's
It's technically his
hilarious.
dagger here,
That's
but
funny.
yeah, it was a good time.
That's what the de-Romanizer was for, as I recall.
The
The
de-Romanizer.
de-Romanizer.
Yeah, I love fighting Romans. They have all that armor.
Just
A lot of times they don't
blow.
feel it when you hit them, so you get to keep hitting them.
That's what I've heard.
Romans are great.
Spicy got me really good at Winter War. He was fighting with a two-handed sword. He was fighting straight ahead, and I was off to the side, and I was like, "Oh, his ass don't see me." He saw me, but he pretended not to see me. And
Yeah.
so I start going up to him to backstab him, and he just turns around and just full throat tackles, just blasts me right to the ground. And I'm just sitting there
Hell
like,
yeah.
what the fuck just happened? And I just start laughing. I did not stab him in the nuts. He stabbed me. But yeah, he got me real good at Winter War. That was fantastic.
That's so good.
Shall we check our agenda? What do we got next?
Sure.
Any questions from the listeners? We've done some questions, but we'll put the chat back on. Listeners, hit us up with any more foam fighting questions you might have. We never set an end time on this. When should we end the stream, do you think?
Oh, I'm fine whenever. I
Okay.
don't know. I think this one can like kind of go as long as wherever. I think maybe we should shoot for like 2 hours though.
What
Be a
made
good
you what made you want to switch your Belgarth race? Yeah, I feel like 8 o'clock is a good thing. Is a good time. 8 o'clock Central is a good time to. We still got we got to figure out what we're doing next week, but yeah, we can kill it soon. So I became a troll because my love of roleplay died a long time ago. There was a lot of bad Amtgard roleplay, especially in my neck of the woods, and it just wasn't for me. And so my love of roleplaying died. And so Brazen said to me like, "Hey, you should be a troll," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna be a troll, okay?" And Brazen was like, "No, no, no, you can be a hat troll. You just wear a hat, and then you're a troll." And I was like,
Boom.
okay, obviously I'm gonna do that. And so Brazen made me a hat that says troll on it, and I've been a troll ever since. I'm in the troll chat. I'm active in the troll chat. Like I'm a troll. It's a thing.
Hell yeah.
My love of role playing died at Amtgard or Belgarth specifically. My love of role playing died. I'm actually going to a role playing focused LARP this weekend called Solarian. So I might role play at this event. We'll see. Lord, do you have a Belgarth race? Are you human?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're in an ad
I
break.
guess
but
technically I was an Urukai at one point,
You were.
but no, I'm a human. I actually am. I feel like my Belgarth character is monster racist. Like my Belgarth character is always trying to kill monsters.
That tracks for a Numenor knight, I think.
Yeah, I'm not a knight in Numenor though.
You're not?
I'm just a knight in Numenor.
Oh.
That man, there's no drama stream. We can never go into this.
Okay. Say less.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean, and that's just for fun. I actually just think that it's fun to like find monsters and be like, well, I'm gonna kill you because you're a monster, and then they laugh and get to do monster things, and then it's like, um, I feel like it's fun to sometimes be the heel or the person that they're trying to kill or mess with, you know?
Makes
So
sense.
it's a good time. I tend to just like decide that I'm my role playing thing is going to be to fight the people that I've decided I want to fight because I think they're cool. So it works out.
I have something that I'm doing for Salty Spittoon. Just to let you know, I am actually Kodite. That's a thing. Not really. That's what they're saying in chat. Everybody's saying that they're Kodite. It was funny to me. Okay, next question was, what is your favorite thing to do for recruitment?
Ooh. For recruitment. Fuck, I'm old now. I don't recruit people anymore. My real favorite thing to do for recruitment is to just I just have always enjoyed meeting new people and learning about new people. I feel like my whole like shtick in this world is to just learn as much as about everything as possible, and people are interesting and fun, and I, people will say there's boring people out there, and I think that's a complete and total lie. Everybody's interesting. They just don't always know how to talk about themselves. So I think that my favorite thing to do for recruitment now, back in the day, I'd just go talk to people and try to get them to fight. It was fun to get people to hit you and then get them excited about fighting. But now I just like to, anybody who's been around for a little bit, um, you know, talk to them, hang out with them, maybe after a practice, get everybody to go to get some food together, and
Yes.
just spend some time getting to know people because it's a good time, and you never know, you might find a friend.
Um, Oddly enough, what you just said is my favorite thing to do for recruitment. Um, well, two of my favorite things actually. First thing is like
Hmm.
breaking bread with people is a great way to get to know
Oh yeah.
somebody, get food afterwards. Second thing is what you just said, finding a friend. So like a lot of times we do these things, and it does happen in Amtgard a lot. I don't know how much it happens in Belgarth because I haven't really been a part of the realm experience as much outside of Arnor and
Hmm.
Warshu, but a lot of times people that are like in charge of shit like get a little self-important about it, and they're like, well, I'm so and so Master Rose, and this new person, I will talk down to them as if I'm their dad or something. And
Yeah.
what I've always challenged people to do in for recruiting is like, open your heart, open yourself up. Okay, this person's a fucking awful fighter. That's fine. Okay, they're still a human being, and they're still doing this cool thing that you do, which is sword fighting. And so like, don't just be nice to them. Oh my god, this entire time, this entire stream, I've been doing it without my stream lights on. What is wrong? I just spent so much time setting these stream lights up.
They look
Ugh,
really good.
they do. They do. Ah! This whole time. Ah!
Oh, that's so
Ah!
good.
They're on now. Here, see, this is what. Remember what it was like without him? Hold on. It was like this. It was like this, which is not
That's
bad.
really dark.
It's pretty dark, but look at this. This is so good.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
amazing.
Well, anyway, um, so open your heart, make friends. Like,
Yeah.
this person, it's their second day out. Just be like, hi, I'm so and so. Let's hang out. Message them on Facebook. Talk to them. Be friends with them. Learn from them. And it's just like, in the process of that, like, hey, you're making friends, but also this person's gonna stick around and play your silly game with you. Um, Third thing I like to do, use online promotional tools. So like, spend $50 to like put your banner out there in Facebook land and have that banner show up on people with interests. Don't just like put the word out there if you're having a demo. Put the word out
Hmm.
there and put money behind it. So like, because you can start getting interest from people like dads and shit will see, your little advertisement on Facebook and be
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm gonna go come check this out for my kids, and stuff like that. It works. It works better than flyers. It works better than, because flyers cost money. It works better than demos, honestly. Just putting together like a video and putting up a Facebook, ad and putting $50 behind it. Um, so rarely done because a lot of people that play these games don't have a ton of money to spend, but it's money well spent.
It's a really good. That's a really good point. And like, I mean, most people are online nowadays. Like they're very
Mm-hmm.
online. They don't wanna, they're not gonna be outside getting a flyer anyway. They're probably not gonna see anything unless it's on their phone or on their computer. So it's a good idea to advertise that way.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, and it's really just about getting people to come try it because once you try it and you're having a little bit of fun, you're hanging out with people, it's fun, and then you go to an event and if you go to an event and you don't like it, it's not for you. If you go to an event and you're gonna like it, you're hooked for life.
You're hooked.
Like,
You're done.
yeah,
I'll see you for the next 20 years. That's
yeah,
what's going to
yeah,
happen.
yep.
So Lord Elodin, what I would suggest, Lord Elodin says, I'm currently working on trophies for the foam fighting room tourney we're hosting at Comic Con. Here's what I think you should do. Here's what I think. I think that you should make a shit ton of swords and sell them for $5 a piece. And in the pommel of the sword, you have it, which is at a loss, probably, you know. But
Yeah.
if somebody has a sword that they spent $5 on, they're going to be like, oh, well, I need to go use this, right? I need to go use this sword. So then they're going to start going to foam fighting groups to make good on their purchase they made. On the pommel of the sword, you put a piece of paper that has whatever relevant information, like your Facebook group URL or something like that, and then put clear tape over it so that if you look at the pommel of the sword, you see the information you need to go to the realm that you're looking for.
That's such a good idea.
Cost some money, definitely cost some time, but like, there's so many things happening. A, you're equipping newbies. They don't have to borrow swords because they have their own sword. B, they've spent $5 on this sword, so now they're like, they're invested at this point. Um, Come Try LARP is another thing you can do. Come Try LARP has it down to a science. It's incredible, right? How well Come Try LARP works. Um, Next question.
Yeah,
So I've been.
their
Go ahead.
the YouTube shorts are so cool.
Oh, they're so good. They're so good. So I've been foam fighting locally for over 12 years. I'm in Central Texas, and I've been fighting against high skill fighters. I feel like I'm middling at best. What are some strategies y'all recommend for somebody who feels stuck in a rut? Take it away.
Whew. Okay, so first thing. If you're fighting against people that are better than you have no idea how much better they are than you. I'm not saying that they're super better than you, but there's a lot of people out there who think that the people that are better than them are very better than them, and that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
They are maybe even like going 50-50, and they're actually quite good. So I would never focus on how good somebody is compared to you because you frankly probably don't know. And you never know that if you're going to go and fight somewhere else for 3 months because you're at a work trip or something, and you come back and that person that you thought that was better than you never goes even with you or gets the better of you again. Um, so the first thing that I would do is not worry about comparing yourself to other people. The second thing that I would do to get better is take some time to watch video of people that fight like you or fight like you want to fight and try to imitate the things that they do. And then also, if you've been fighting for a while and 12 years is a good long time, then something I would highly recommend for fighting is watching tape on YouTube. You can go watch my channel. I don't make it pretty. I just post the stuff that I post for myself, and I know other people like watching it. And so it's there if you want to. But there's lots of people that have actual good tape, like actual, or they like do a really good job of making it. And watch their fights. And if you can't break down what they're doing to get their wins, just watching them, then start slowing them down and start watching what people do. And then when you do that, if you can't break down what they're doing and can't figure it out, the next time you're fighting some of those high skill fighters that you fight, ask them. Like, ask them what they're doing to kill you. Ask people how they do certain things. If you think that somebody's a really good fighter and you think you want to fight like them or you could fight like them, especially if they're like around the same body, like build and type as you, it's a lot easier to fight like people who are similar physicality to you. Um, go fight them, go learn from them, and just the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is not judge yourself for where you're at and not compare yourself to other people on like a better or worse, because there is, I mean, we can talk about it, but it's not going to help you get any better at sword fighting. Sword fighting and just everything in life is all these accumulations of all these little knowledge and all this little practice and all this skill. And you just keep, you know, we can call it grinding, but keep having fun. Like, keep going and learning new things. Keep, like, really, it's learning new things, practicing new things. And then as you build that knowledge gap and you can, or that knowledge gap, the knowledge base, and you get better and better and better, you keep doing it and you start to see how big the mountain is, and you realize you'll never get to the top, because the top is always getting bigger over time as everybody gets better and better at fighting. And like, I shouldn't say you never get to the top. It's just that the top never stops. Like, you
Yeah.
can get to the top, but it's just going to keep going because somebody's going to want to beat you and then they're going to get better. So don't worry about that so much. Focus on individual skills that you can learn. And then if you do that, you will continue to get better. And don't judge yourself for not being able to do a thing. Just keep practicing, keep fighting. You It's hard to internalize the lesson until you've fought, you know, I know you've fought for 12 years already, but after you like really apply yourself like that, do it for 3 years and watch some of the people that you started with and watch how you're beating the fuck out of them now and they can never even touch you, and then realize how long it takes to grow that skill and just have fun with it, because that's why we do it.
To build on that, I first thing I think, get in shape, like work
Yeah,
out,
that too.
eat right. There are lots of great fighters who are not in shape, but it doesn't hurt. I'll tell you that much.
No,
It
it
don't
does
hurt at
not.
all. Build up your
Yeah.
cardio, build up your muscles. You know, healthy eating. Oh my God! Look at that. That was like a little oh, wow. Look at you. God
Oh
damn.
yeah.
Um, Second thing is like practice. And I think it was Tato who came up with this formula that it was
Hmm.
like, if you practice once a week, your skills decline. If you practice twice a week, your skills maintain. If you practice 3 times a week, you ascend. And that formula certainly worked for me. I had the privilege of having an Amp Guard park on Sundays where there's like six. There's now 6 of us warlords at this park. It's great. Um, you know, thank you, Brazen. Brazen's so good.
Holy shit. You're
Um,
amazing.
um, and I also have 2 Belgarth parks near me. Um, and then I also have friends that were willing to train with me. So like practice 3 times a week if possible. Um, travel, Go to SKBC. Go, go to SKBC. Go to it every year. Um, it's some of the best ditching you'll ever have. Um, and you're learning from the best in the sport. You go to SKBC, and I would love to see more Bellegrim represented at SKBC because it is such a phenomenal venue for teaching. Um, Horace, oh, okay, your channel. Yeah, we're just asking about that. And
I
anybody
can't.
else, anybody that's on the bench, anybody that runs um, an independent YouTube channel about fighting, post links, all the links right now. Let's see them
Yeah,
all. You know,
please, so that I can subscribe.
we're a community here. This isn't, we're as I mean, we are prima donnas, but also this is a community, and like we're trying to serve the community. That's our number one goal. So please, broadcast who you are and what you do as loudly as possible, and we'll amplify that signal. We don't know where SKBC is next year. I was really pushing for it to be Numenor. I don't know if any of y'all like took it up to do that. Um, that'd be super cool. Uh,
Everybody who didn't enjoy having it here is burnt out from doing things for years and years. We already run Oktoberfest every year.
that's fair.
I don't think you're gonna get a lot of people to jump on that.
Coat has a great channel. Definitely recommend following that. Fox has a great channel. A tip for people who are financially struggling and can't travel? YouTube is free. Record yourself. Watch why you
Hmm.
die. Watch what kills you. See what works. Trim what doesn't. Most importantly, be kind to yourself. You won't learn if you are mean to yourself. That's
Correct.
Misty. Misty's on the bench. That's why Misty's on the bench. I think we're getting close to wrapping up, so let's talk about next week. I think in the future, we should maybe plan our shows out a little bit more and have the topic for next week already ready to go. But
Mhm.
I thought we could manage crowdsource the topic for next week. Um, since I wanted to focus on this premiere more than anything. But what should we talk about next week? Let's hear those ideas. I mean, we could do simple. We could do something simple like. So I think for format wise, because we're gonna have two of our bench folks, we're gonna have two of our bench people on, and we'll choose them based on the topic. Footwork. We're gonna Fox. We're gonna pick the guests based on, and we're gonna have two. We're gonna pick based on what the topic is. We're gonna draw from their expertise. I like the idea of footwork.
Oh, jeez, I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about that.
You have great footwork.
Sure.
When
See
you're
what I mean? We don't even know how far the mountain goes.
when you're knocking people over, that's good footwork.
Oh, I can tell you how to knock people over.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one. It's a Belgarth exclusive one though. Well, I guess you did Dag too.
I don't want to review footage just yet for next week because I want to have a discussion. I want that to be the type of session we do next week is another discussion. Red fighting. We could do red fighting. Fox won't be able to go to practice next week if we do red fighting because he's going to be here.
That'd be good. Be teaching me.
Red fighting, footwork. What else we doing? What else could be a topic?
I just started typing some of these because I had one and now I can't
Oh
remember.
shit. Red fighting could be fun. I like the idea of talking about red fighting. That makes the stream very Belgarthy too.
I
Tournament
love
meta.
red fighting, but I feel like I don't actually know how to red fight. I
Single
just know how to
sword.
single sword fight and apply it.
Fighting fundamentals, tournament meta, single sword. I don't actually I don't agree that single sword is the basis for everything. Hot take.
You're right.
I don't agree.
I do think that it's applicable to a lot of stuff.
It
It
is.
helps. I think it's a very good skill to have. And if you're good at single sword, you can probably do passable at a lot of stuff.
It's okay to
But I
be
agree
wrong,
with you.
Tanny.
What?
I was a notoriously awful single sword fighter for so long, and my tournament meta for when I won my warlord was like get third place in single sword because they always do single sword first. So if I get third place, I'm at least getting
Mhm.
points on the board. I'm at least showing up, so I'm not feeling bad about myself. And I'm pretty sure that in all tournaments, all three tournaments I won, I got third place in single sword. I've gotten better at it. I worked with Tisco a lot and kind of figured out how to be a single sword fighter. But
Oh,
dome shield, red
wish I
fighting,
got
and
to fight
footwork.
Tisco.
Tisco's so good to fight. Flow fighting. Let's do red fighting. Let's do red fighting. Let's do it. What do you think?
Sure.
Let's do it. We're doing red fighting next week. Unless if
Now I'm gonna have to
Fox
fight with my red this week, so I remember what I'm doing slightly.
if Fox can't make it, then we'll switch topics. So
Okay.
Fox, you have to tell us if you're able to make the stream on Thursday. We'll bring you, and we'll bring somebody else that's a red fighting expert.
We can definitely do two-stick too.
Yeah. Oh,
Not the
that's.
best two-stick fighter, but I love two-stick
Are you
fighting.
writing all this down because these are all great topics?
I have been writing some of them down.
Oh yeah.
I'm not 100% sure I got all of them. I'm gonna put single sword and two-stick in here for sure though, and
Spear.
sword and board.
Spear.
We can go over like we could definitely do an episode on each style and get
Yeah.
somebody that's really good at all of them.
We're gonna have to maybe reach outside the bench for spear. I don't know that we have any good spear fighters on the
I
bench.
know the spears.
You know the
I
spears?
almost, yeah.
All right.
In the interest of teaching everybody correctly, I'll try to get a spear on here.
I mean, we can get Batman probably.
Oh yeah, Batman's a good one.
Techno. Techno's on the bench too. Cord would be a great duo. All right. Maybe we'll do Cord and Fox. So, and then Techno for Spear, and maybe we'll try to get Batman when we do Spear. Ooh, this is so fun!
Who's Techno?
Techno Pop. They ran, I think they ran some of the games at either Geddon or Winter War. I think Winter War?
Sick.
Yeah. I brought Techno in for talking about organization.
Yeah, Merrick's great too.
I brought Techno into the bench for like organization and running things and stuff like that. But if Techno's a great spear fighter, full steam, hell yeah. But I definitely want to like do the thing where we kind of told our stories. I want to do that with the people on the bench too. Give them a chance to tell their story.
Yeah,
You know?
that'd be fun.
I think that's super cool.
I think that's like one of the best parts about Belgarth and eventing too. So it'd be fun to do that every time.
Because it's like you have those conversations where you're all sitting around, you're drinking, you're like, tell me, this one time, this is a great stream to do that. We can this one time until we're blue in the face, and like they're good stories, and and then they last. It's about time. It's 8:30. I want to thank. First, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody that's listening. I want to thank everybody that is watching this after it's made in the YouTube video that I'm going to have to fucking edit at some point in the near future. I want to thank all of you for supporting this. This is incredible. The turnout has been amazing. I'm blown away. I'm shocked and I'm speechless. Horus, I want to thank you for going on this adventure with me.
Of course.
I want to thank you. I'm getting to brazen. Relax. I want to thank you for doing this and being an amazing co-host. And this has been absolutely wild.
I'll be thanking you for putting it all together. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Brazen, my co-producer and executive vice grip. I want to thank you for the incredible amount of subs. And someone else gave a bunch of subs too, didn't they?
Yeah, Solaris.
I want to thank both of you for the support. Because you're the executive vice grip. It's... Right? Isn't that the person that like moves the boom operators and shit? I don't know.
Is it?
It might be. But thank all of you so much. This has been an incredible show. And let's do it again sometime. See y'all next week. Thursdays at 6. I think we're out.
Hell yeah.